Hey guys, it's Sekaar, and today we're going to be going over my magical warden build for the Firesong chapter. Before we get started, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. It helps me out a bunch. We just passed 4,500 subs, and we're just moving and moving and moving. So thank you to everybody who's subbed so far. But guys, I really like this build a lot. I feel like the damage is nice on this. The tankiness is really nice. The healing is pretty good too. So I really hope that you guys enjoy. And without further ado, let's just get on with the build. Alright guys, let's get started. First things first, we're going to look at our character sheet. We are going to be a Breton on our Mag Warden. Breton, in my opinion, is the best in slot race for MagDen because of the fact that you get the reduced cost passive on all of your magic abilities, and I think that's very important. It is really hard to sustain on MagDen sometimes, so having Breton is a really great way to counteract that. We're going to be having 34 points into magic and 30 points into health in order to give us a max magic pool of 23.8k, a max health pool of 29.9k, but when we get our minor toughness buff after we heal ourselves, we're at about... let me just put on my controller because I didn't know how to use a keyboard and mouse. We are at 32.6k, so I still think that that is a lot, and that's a good place for the Warden buffs to be. Our max stam pool is also going to be at 15.3, which I think is more than enough. We don't really have any stamina abilities besides resolving vigor, so that is fine. Our Mundus is going to be the warrior to increase our weapon damage as much as possible. It doesn't matter if you go into weapon or spell damage on this build because of the way this game has been hybridized. So as long as you just build completely into one, it doesn't matter. But onto this build, we're building into weapon damage. So our Mundus is the warrior. We're going to be Vampire Stage 3 in order to increase our tankiness. The lower health we are for that Undeath passive, it is a lot better for our tankiness, so that helps a lot. Then our food, as always, is going to be Orzoga Smoked Bear Haunch to increase our max health by 4,300 and our Magicka and Stamina Recovery by 369. And as always, if you can't afford Orzogas, my best suggestion is using the Jewels of Miserable food. It is basically the same thing. You just lose a little bit of max health and a 12 magic and stamina recovery. It's really not that big of a deal, and it is a lot cheaper. Onto our gear. Our one monster set piece, we're only using one on this build because we can't fit a full monster set. We're going to be using Balorg, so it's a medium Balorg shoulder and divines. The reason why we're using this is because the one piece gives us weapon and spell damage, so we want to increase that as much as possible. Our one set is going to be Ice Furnace. We're going to be using a heavy Ice Furnace helmet in the reinforced trait. This is going to give us a line of max magic, crit chance, weapon and spell damage. Then when you deal frost damage, you deal an additional 1,110 flame damage to all enemies within 8 meters around the initial target. And then that can occur once every second. So that is honestly a great source of sustained damage over time. You're always keeping your ice damage out. So that is a great way to just keep your damage up. Our chest piece is going to be a heavy ice furnace and reinforced. Then our legs are also going to be heavy ice furnace and reinforced as well. Our other 5-piece set on this build is going to be Draugr. Draugr was nerfed, yes, but we are using this as our front bar set. So we do not use this on our back bar, so when we're healing ourselves, we're not affected by that nerf that Draugr took. So what Draugr does is it's going to give us a line of max magic, offensive penetration, magic recovery, and increases your damage done by 330, but reduces your healing taken by 10%. So when we're on our back bar healing ourselves, we are not affected by that, but it is honestly such good sustained pressure on this with the increased damage done because we have a lot of dots on this build, especially our... So that's going to increase our damage of our Ice Furnace proc. It's going to increase our damage of everything, so we have a lot of dots, and it will honestly make them shred, and it does a lot of damage, I promise you. So again, light Draugr gloves in Impen, light Draugr sash in Impen as well, and light Draugr shoes in Divines. Our jewelry is going to be Ice Furnace necklace and the infused trait with a weapon damage enchantment on it. I wanted to do infused instead of bloodthirsty on this build because we want to get our weapon damage as high up as possible to help our healing. We don't have much healing on this build outside of our 2 main heals you'll see. So I definitely wanted to help us with that by increasing our weapon damage as much as possible. We're also going to be using Ring of the Pale Order in the infused trait with a weapon damage enchantment on it. Ring of the Pale Order is going to restore 20% of the damage you deal back to you as health. So say you hit somebody for, I don't know, 10k on an ability. 20% of that is going to be 2k, so you're getting 2k heals back. So that is honestly a great way to just keep your sustained healing up over time, and it is honestly, in my opinion, the only way to make this build viable. You don't really have much healing on this build outside of Pale Order and then your other heals, so I definitely recommend using this. If you don't have Pale Order, honestly, I would recommend going with another build, to be honest. And then our other ring is going to be an Ice Furnace ring in the infused trait with a weapon damage enchantment on. Was that a player I just saw? I've never seen a player in one of my build videos. Yo, I'm gonna go kill him. Yo, I've never seen a build. I've never seen a player in any of my build videos. I'm gonna go try and find him and kill him. Yo! Oh, never mind. Okay, back to the build video. Back to the build video. Anyways. Anyways. I hope they didn't follow me. Okay. All right. They didn't see us. All right, our front bar is going to be a Draugr Ice Staff in the charge trait with a magic damage glyph on it that restores 482 health and then 177 magic and stamina recovery. This is great for our overall sustain. It's great for our healing, and it's great for our sustain on our resources. It's gonna give us some good magic and stamina recovery back. And honestly, if you want a little bit of more pressure and don't really care about the healing, slap an Oblivion enchantment on this and you will be shredding a lot more. Then our back bar set is going to be the Maelstrom's Perfected Ice Staff in the infused trait with an increased weapon and spell damage glyph on it. That way we're raising that as much as possible. I love this so much. It is a great way to increase your overall damage, and I definitely recommend it. I was also thinking maybe using a Potentate's Ice Staff on the back bar just to get that overall reduced damage taken. So whichever one you prefer, use that. As far as our skills go, sorry, I'm still thinking about the Zerg. We're going to be using Crushing Shock as our main spammable. This is going to be amazing damage on this build with the Draugr stack, and then on top of that, you do frost damage with this. So your Ice Furnace will always proc on every proc 2. So this is so much damage, and I really, really enjoy it. Sometimes people are dodge roll spamming and kind of gets annoying, but overall, this is a great source of sustained damage. Bird of Prey, this is going to be your snare removal, and also on top of that, you're going to be getting Major Expedition for 6 seconds, and also while slotted, you gain Minor Berserk, increasing your damage on by 5%. Crystallized Slab, this is going to be a really good source of defense for you. There's a lot of range builds in this game. A great way to combat that, honestly, is with Crystallized Slab. It is, to be able to turn and hit somebody with that, it is a great way to line up your burst, and I love it so much. And then Deep Fissure, this is going to be a very good source of your burst as well. Everybody knows Deep Fissure. I definitely prefer this morph because it gives both major and minor breach, and it is great to hit them so hard after they're hit by this. And I love it. If you could time up your Deep Fissure, having your Fetcher Infection proc on them, and then also your Dawnbreaker, hit them with a Crushing Shock, it is such a great combo. I love it. And then Fetcher Infection, this is going to be a nice little dot that you put on your enemies. Then on top of that, they're also being afflicted with minor vulnerability, so it's going to increase their damage taken by 5%. And then that dot is also being buffed by Draugr, so it is honestly great damage. And then Dawnbreaker of Smiting. This is going to be your ultimate on your front bar. I like this as a great burst damage with your Subterranean Assault, but most of the time I do use my back bar ultimate, so we will get to that right now. But again, it is a great ultimate to use to combo it up every now and then. Our back bar abilities are going to be Arctic Blast. This is going to be your main burst heal. So if you need to get your health up as much as possible, this is a great way to do it. Blue Betty, this is going to be your source of major brutality and sorcery, increasing your weapon spell damage by 20%. Then every 5 seconds, the Netch removes 1 negative effect from you, so that is great. As a great source of way to keep your damage to a minimum. I really enjoy it. Resolving Vigor, this is going to be your main heal over time. This is a 5-second heal that also gives you minor resolve, increasing your physical and spell resistance by 3k. And then Blockade of Frost, this is going to be buffed by both your Maelstrom Ice Staff, and then on top of that, you're just putting an Ice AoE out there, so this is also going to give your Ice Furnace a lot of damage as well, so try and keep this out at all times. And then on top of that, the amount of damage that you're doing with this, you're getting a lot of healing from your Pale Order, so please try and keep your Blockade of Frost out at all times. It is a great way to heal yourself with your Pale Order. And then Ice Fortress. This is going to be your source of major resolve, increasing your physical and spell resistance by 6k. And then also you gain minor protection, reducing your damage taken by 5%. And then finally, Northern Storm. This is going to be a great ultimate for you. I would definitely try to combo this and use this one as much as possible. The damage that it does is very, very, very nice. It's an 8-second AoE, and you are doing so much damage. And then on top of that, since it's frost damage, it's also proccing your Ice Furnace every second as well. So you get the tooltip of both Northern Storm and Ice Furnace every second, and I really like it. And then also on top of that, it's going to increase your weapon and spell damage by 300 for 30 seconds. And on top of that, your enemies are snared by 40%. And on top of that, you're gaining major protection and reducing your damage taken by 10%. So it makes you tanky and you do a lot of damage. And then finally, our champion points. Our blue slottables are going to be Focus Mending, Master at Arms, Fighting Aura, and Wrathful Strikes. Our red slottables are going to be Sustained by Suffering, Survival Instincts, Pain's Refuge, and Celerity. And then our green tree, the only things that we really care about, as always, are Breakfall, Rationer, and Liquid Efficiency. Guys, that is the entire build video. I hope that you enjoyed. I'm sorry for the little hiccup. I did not know what that was. See, they went and took Farragut. Wow, those cowards. How dare they? But guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys being here. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. It is a free way to support me, and I appreciate every single subscriber. We just passed 4,500 subs, so let's see how close we can get to 5K by the end of the month. So with your guys' help, let's see if we can do it. I appreciate it. That's it from me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Later.